Greetings, unsettled souls. Sam I the Gangi doing political commentary, as it were, for the media speaks, giving you the 12 days of Trump. What we're looking at here is day 8, so we're closing in on the big day, giving you ample reasons and ample cause to stop and pause, I should say, and look at Trump. All jokes aside, this is really good news. Independents leaning towards Trump in the polls after the FBI furor erupts. Now you notice when something comes out against Trump, it's something he did 11 years ago that is an indiscretion between him and his wife. When Clinton comes out with a scandal, it's something that actually has some bearing on you and I watching this because it has to do with the security of the United States. So there's a vast gulf here of differences. But I'm going to go ahead and let you see this. They've been talking about how Trump is losing the Republican vote. Well, he's gaining a lot of independents. And it's a lot of people like who are libertarians like me have been very let down by Gary Johnson. And we're leaning towards Donald Trump. And a lot of Republicans have been who have been disenfranchised with the Romneys and the McCains are said to be coming home. Again, not so much me on that one, but it is happening. David Lightman at McClatchy DC.com, excuse me. The furor over the FBI probe of Hillary Clinton's emails is helping Donald Trump among independent voters in key swing states. In Wisconsin, a state that for months has been the safe for Democratic turf, a new Marquette Law School poll released Wednesday found a shift in independent voters' views. Many shifted toward Trump after the FBI said Friday that it was again probing Clinton's use of a private email system for government business. Again, big no-no, puts the government and the people at great risk. In Florida, a new CNN ORC poll survey, I should say, of Florida voters had Clinton up 2% and Quinnipiac had her up only 1. Trump was leading among the independent voters, 46-40, Quinnipiac found. In PA, Quinnipiac gave Clinton a 4-point edge, with CNN ORC had her up 5. Clinton was ahead by 4. And it goes on and on. North Carolina, Trump was up 43-38 among independents. In Wisconsin, among independent voters, Clinton is up by 7 over Trump. And on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, Trump jumped to a 10-point advantage. Then back to an 8-point through the Monday review. So that, friends, is absolutely wonderful. It says here that he also solidified support among Republicans, nearly 3 and 4 backed him on Wednesday and Thursday, 87%. So he's not doing as badly with Republicans as they say he is. And they hide, well, they don't hide, but they don't like to talk too much about how many Democrats it is that Hillary Clinton is actually bleeding and gushing out here. And that brings us to the point of divisive politics and rather divisive mindsets that we've been seeing. I think a lot of people know at this point that the corruption is neck deep. But one of the things that they really enjoy doing is trying to find new ways to get you and I to fight with each other about the most mundane, ridiculous sorts of things. And one of those has clearly always been race. I remember things were going better in this country with races for a long time. And all of a sudden they've been going south. Well, I happen to know that one of the reasons for that, you'd have to be a Clinton bot back here to think otherwise. One of the problems have always been Louis Farrakhan. He's the one who believes in white privilege. He is the one who has called white people the white devil, even though the average white person's never done anything to him. This is good news, though. Lately, it seems like Farrakhan has been waking up from the false left and right dynamic and dichotomy that we've been given here. Louis Farrakhan, this is on the Daily Caller, railed against Hillary Clinton during a sermon this past Sunday. The Nation of Islam leader first commended Donald Trump for taking away power from the media. Now, see, that's very important because the media has managed to make Farrakhan even more distasteful than he really is. And that's saying something. Farrakhan noted that the Republican nominee has been plastered across the television network's election coverage as a means to embarrass him, but that only resulted in free campaign advertising for the Trump campaign. You don't even realize that you, the media, are no longer in power, he stated. Can't you see that you have failed? Well, let me tell you what, I've noticed this for a long time. Remember the people that used to go out there and complain and protest Marilyn Manson shows? Um, I went to school, junior high school with you. I don't remember a lot about him. I know he was kind of a misfit like the rest of us, I guess, but I remember going to see him at a place called the Fantasy when there were like, I don't know, a couple hundred people there. Basically, nobody knew who the man was. Nobody knew who Marilyn Manson, the band, was or anything like it. Well, when the far right started complaining about him, he became an overnight sensation. The man should send the Christian right a Christmas card every year for what they did for him. Now, again, there were people like me that listened to them not because they were interested in Satanism in any way, but because of things like the pinch harmonics that are found on the opening track of Portrait of an American Family. Taken Sodom. Remarkable name, but just the same great song. Those of us who appreciated horror theatrics liked him quite a bit. That's kind of it. Until the Christian right came around and decided to make him a household name by protesting him. And all they really were trying to do was to get their own political name in the paper for the good of their own political ends. And in the process, they end up making Marilyn Manson one of the biggest rock and roll celebrities of the entire time period. Well, that's kind of what Farrakhan is saying here. And friends, you know what? He's right again. So there are times, especially lately, where Farrakhan has been less aggravating than he has throughout most of his political career. Farrakhan turned his focus towards the Democratic nominee. My dear brothers and sisters, this is serious, Farrakhan told his congregation. Her husband and Joe Biden were the authors of a crime bill that put tens of thousands of black brothers and sisters in prison. That is true. A lot of the mandatory minimums, even for things as simple as marijuana, have been hugely, hugely worsened by the Clinton family. They were the people that brought in a lot of the laws that have ruined the lives of Black America. Not to mention they have made a lot of money off of poor people in general. So again, everything with him is somehow race. But I think it's important to notice what he is saying here on a bigger scale. Mrs. Clinton backed the crime bill and then called our young people super predators. Well, that's where I need to pause you, Mr. Farrakhan. Many of your young people have been super predators. So if you're out there hurting people and gangbanging, I'm sorry, Clinton was right on that. They were super predators. So that doesn't offend me in the least. But he said she apologized, but just a minute. Hitler could have said to the Jews after Auschwitz, I'm sorry, but would that satisfy you? Well, there's a difference between calling a super predator and killing a bunch of innocent Jews. But again, it is Farrakhan, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. This kind of thing is his bread and butter. Look at this award that she got, he continued. In 2009, Hillary Clinton received the Margaret Sanger Award from Planned Parenthood. It was Mrs. Sanger who advocated population control for poor and black people. He is completely right on that. In a 1939 letter, Sanger wrote about getting the black preachers to help with her efforts. She said, we don't want the word to get out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And when Mrs. Clinton received the award, she said, I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. Her courage, her tenacity, her vision. Now they have to admit that the war on drugs was a war on black people. I think it was a war on poor people, and I think it was a war to help the prison industrial complex. However, it definitely hurt black people as well. So I see part of what Farrakhan is saying, but he has to look at everything through race-colored glasses, which I'm not in favor of. We need to realize that we're all being hosed equally together. There is no mystical white privilege happening, okay? There's nobody out to get the black man. But I will say this, there are a lot of people out to get you and I, regardless of what color they are. And that's why I'm doing the 12 Days of Trump. And if you'd like to help me, I'd like to help support the show. I can tell you how you can do it. You can hit share. You can hit subscribe. You can let me know that you want one of these at the correct views at hotmail.com. One of them is 5, 2 of them is 7. They're autographed from Christelle and I. Donate at the correct views at hotmail.com through PayPal, and I will make certain that you get these stickers. Thank you, friends, for listening. Do hit share and subscribe. Good night. God bless. And remember to go to Sticker Junkie for your stickers. Type in the correct views on checkout and get ready. You're going to be saving money because you're a listener. Good night, friends. God bless.